My name is Brayden Dudley. My major is mechanical engineering, and I play defensive line. I'm from Beaufort, Georgia, by way of Texas.
What would you say that your take on mental health is, like just thinking about it as a whole?
It's very important. That's very generalized, but it's very important in the aspect of a lot of different things.
How would you say you interact with it personally?
I try to keep up with it more than I usually keep up with most of my other stuff. Like, it's very important to me, so I interact with it a lot.
Do you say you would deal with it mostly on your own, or would you say you try to reach out to others?
My sister is very big in mental health, and she helps me a lot with it. And my parents are getting more understanding about it, so I think I interact with them a lot more about it. I kind of reach out for people when it comes to my personal mental health.
How's your access as far as like within the facility? What are like y'all resources?
We had Dr. Adrian. I'm not sure if he's still here, but we did have Dr. Adrian. He helped me a lot with my mental health. So they've always made it readily available for us. But I'm not sure. I haven't seen him lately, right? So I'm not sure if he's still here. I haven't heard anything about it recently. I'd say the last time was like before season that I recall. That's like August, like end of summer, early fall semester.
You say he helped you a lot, so how do you feel about like it being that long? Still, you feel like you could reach out, or?
Well, I have his personal phone number, so if I ever needed to reach out, he's always said like I can feel free to reach out to him. I've used his number multiple times. I feel as if I haven't had a necessity for it right now because of one, like the last time I talked, it was more like a checkup instead of like an actual need, like for his like help. I was already getting over something with my mental health, so I was already becoming better. And then now I'm good right now, but the checkups do help.
So how would you say you feel as far as like above your teammates?
It depends on what all is going on. I could talk to many of my close people that I'm close with about mental health, but I can't talk to just anybody on the team about mental health. And I think that's more so along of like comfortability with your teammates than the actual idea of mental health, because you're not going to talk to anybody about your problems. When it comes to mental health, the people on my team are very open about it with themselves, but not to others on the team, because this is very much so like it's strictly team, strictly football. When it comes to a lot of the conversations, mental health isn't brought up unless you're in like a personal setting. We do team bonding and everything, but it's supposed to be like a relation between people, and it's supposed to kind of be uplifting and happy. Sometimes mental health doesn't always go down that route, especially since a lot of us come from very different backgrounds, and a lot of those backgrounds aren't really positive. So we want to keep it positive in those type of bonding relationships a lot of the times, because, you know, then everything kind of gets super deep, and then now it's more where people, like people just kind of get like, it gets awkward.
So would you say you feel safe in your environment?
Oh yeah, I feel very comfortable in my environment.
Do you have an outlet, like outside of football, something that helps you?
I'd say one, my girlfriend, and then two, it's not directly outside of football, but technically they're not together, but it's academics. So I talk to the people with my academic staff about a lot of my personal life more than I would tell most of my coaches and stuff. I've always been bonded with academics a lot, and they're kind of more, I wouldn't say regular people, but they have more of an understanding of me as a person. When it's practice time, I feel like a player, not so much as a person, right? But that's because of the environment that I'm in. It's practice time, and I have to be a player. Whenever I'm outside of football, I am treated as a person. So like they'll, you know, ask me how my day is going, all that stuff. But I think it's just because the facilities as itself is centered around football that makes it difficult for me to see myself as a person, because I'm thinking about football in that time. How I portray myself in different environments is different. I'll portray myself as a player in the football environment. I'll portray myself as a person outside of that, because I feel like that's what I needed of me in that moment of time.
How was like your experiences like between balancing being a player and academics?
It's difficult, especially with my major. Right now, I'm like in a really tough spot where like I need a certain percentage of my major done because of NCAA. A lot of the classes I took beforehand, they're just prerequisites, but some of their credits don't go towards my actual major. I can catch up after this semester, but if I can't fail another class. I feel like that's more along the lines of me putting myself in that position because I did choose to be a football player and a mechanical engineer. But it just gets difficult with how everything gets placed out, because if I was a regular student, I'd be able to, like, you know, fail, retake classes, stay in my majors. It makes it harder on me, like, for school and football.
Would you say that football is an emotional sport?
Yes. I know what you mean. Like how are the emotions, like, kind of mixed in with, like, both mental health and football, and how, like, kind of they interact with each other? Football, some people say that they can't do it, and some people say that they can. And that's to have, like, a switch to flip your emotions between, and I say it like reality and football. Because football is very much so, like, it's disconnected from a lot of, like, your mindset to, like, physically attack a person within the bounds of the law. It's hard to go between that and then, like, you know, hugging your best friend every day. That isn't really hard for people who've been in this for a long time like I have. Like, this is my 12th, 13th year playing football. All my life almost. So it's not hard for me to be, like, the nice and caring person I am right now, because I feel like that's not more so emotions, it's like a mindset. I use football as an emotional release. You know, have you ever want to, like, scream into a pillow and stuff like that? Like, that's how it is for me. Whether it be anger, sadness, any type of emotion that I'm feeling, I'm releasing that on the field. It's kind of beneficial with my emotions, working between those two mindsets. I think it can get hard sometimes. Say somebody starts talking crazy to you. Well, the football mindset is telling you, like, well, you can hit them. But the regular person mindset is, well, he's like, well, we're going to talk this out. I have very much control over it. I'm very intellectual, so I know how to deal with a lot of different situations. I've been in a lot of different situations. I really don't have that much confliction with, like, football being a stressor on my mental health, other than the fact that, like, it's hard to do. And, like, I just have to focus on it. It's something I love to do, so I chose to do it. So it's not something that I'll shy away from.
Not the second person I've interviewed, and y'all both said, like, y'all chose to do this. Overall, like you say, you feel like you made a good choice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're still redshirt freshman, sophomore year, so this is your first and only school.
Yeah, this is a great place for me, and I always knew that from, like, the moment I, like, signed here. We might complain every now and then, but they take care of us 100%.